Do you know Army?
Do you know Army?
Hey everyone, we're back. I'm Sarah.
Zoe.
Mako.
And I'm Buana.
And today we are talking about just a little bit of a combination of a few things going on right now.
Absolutely.
So I guess we can just hop right in. So as of literally right now, we are just about an hour and a half away from watching the Las Vegas live streaming.
Yay!
My goodness.
I'm so excited about that. I'm almost as excited about it as if we were going to the concert.
Yes.
Almost, not quite, but yeah, I'm super excited about it.
And we got a big TV for it. I can't get over that TV.
Yeah. And honestly, am I the only one that is this excited about it internally? Because I have no idea why I am.
I've been wondering that myself.
Well, it has
for
been-
days, she's been super excited about this stream.
It has been a while since we've seen new concert footage. You know, like back in the day when they would tour all the time, we would see a whole bunch of Army footage
That's
of
true.
concert tours.
That's true.
So it's been a very long time since we've had new concert footage like this, you know?
Yeah, maybe I'm still not. It's a lot of making up to do from the pandemic.
Yeah.
So maybe that's so. But I'm super excited, and for all of those that are actually there, I'm excited for them too. I'm excited for armies that are actually there.
There's nothing
And-
like the live experience.
Oh,
So-
and the fact that it's all purple. Their whole world is purple.
Isn't
Las
that
Vegas
yes.
showed out.
Oh, wow.
They did, and you know what I thought about, and I'm pretty darn sure this is what it is, because I've been on that when the guys were coming to Texas this last time. I was on that Texas Army. We were all trying to campaign, getting this building turned purple, that fountain turned purple. That's not the easiest thing to do. They did the entirety of Las Vegas. I honestly believe it was the agency that, and Vegas is not crazy. Vegas is an entertainment haven.
Yeah.
So they were like, I'm sure they were very accommodating when the agency came and was like, hey, we want to do this. Hey, we want to do that. And I'm sure, Vegas ain't crazy.
I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't the agency. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just straight up Army representatives going, because Vegas is an entertainment city. Like, of course they'll do it. They know who's coming. They know what normal cities do, so.
And they know how much income that brings. Come on, let's keep it
In
real.
this country, normal cities haven't done that. In other countries, normal cities have, like, all over the place. I literally turned. Like, all over the place they've done that. But I've never seen a city in this country do that. I just haven't.
Yeah, because I know that in New York they turned it.
The top of the Empire State Building.
Purple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that was it. But imagine the entirety of New York just lighting up all the buildings.
No,
and all
I
this
never
and-
said like an entire city's done it, but other cities have
But
lit up things.
isn't a Las Vegas Strip like actually kind of like fairly small?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
it's like
very
a much
small.
much smaller
it's a strip.
area.
I guarantee you can
Yeah.
see their light from space, though.
I bet you can.
A purple flashlight.
And can we talk about all the events they have? They have a lot of events like they've never done before.
Yeah, but they all cost,
Yeah,
which was
that's
not
the thing.
cool. Like normally,
sure
I
they
mean,
all
I
cost.
just feel like in the past they wouldn't have charged Army buku for, all of that. Some of it, yes, obviously, like merch for sure. But to go and view something and enjoy.
Yeah, just to go look at stuff that definitely is different. But I mean, we've had like several episodes up to now. This is the world we're living in now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And this
true.
is the
That's
direction the agency told us they were going in.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
was cheaper.
Yeah, this is it's just that when P.D. on the first conference or the second, I can't remember, when he began to tell us how they're aiming to change the concert experience, I never thought of changing the concert experience meaning more out of our pocket. I just never, I didn't
don't know
see
if
it
that's
that
what
way.
he meant because he's no longer, the head, but that's definitely the direction that it is turned.
Yeah, I don't believe that's what he meant.
No, because I mean, remember all the stuff he mentioned that pretty much never got implemented in the U.S. Like he wanted to make it more comfortable for Army.
Right.
He wanted it to be like a whole like field day kind of thing, like a
Yeah.
whole festival. He wanted
Yeah.
to make the whole area surrounding the stadium like have photo ops and have places to sit and
Yes.
blankets, and he wanted it to be like this huge Army festival experience, which we were all so excited for.
Yeah, super
Yeah.
excited.
And not to say they didn't improve somewhat. I mean, I think it's
It
cool
did.
that they added, like, you know, like theaters that people could watch if they can't be in the concert and stuff. But we all know that, like, this isn't exactly what PD Neem had envisioned initially.
Right.
I will say, I don't recall, but I don't think the first concert we ever went to had that photo booth that they have like now. They have more than one thing now. They have the photo booth and they have something else there. I can't remember what it is, but I don't think that our first concert experience with them had that. And then in Dallas, in the Dallas-Fort Worth one, the one we went to, we were just in masses all around the stadium. There was nothing to do. Of course, like Army does, they got together, they did dance routines, so forth and so on. But beyond that, there was nothing but us standing out in the heat.
Well, in the merch lines.
Between that and, the merch line was actually inside that building, remember? Because Ange went last minute to go back into that building to get a bomb. So the merch was inside a building across the street. But that experience, between that experience and the experience now, there is quite a difference as far as how we are when we're standing in line. You don't have to stand in that long merch line because you can actually order merch stuff before the concerts now. So there were some changes, some better changes.
I will say, to be fair, too, like I really was reminded of this with our experience with the SoFi Stadium, that the agency isn't completely to blame for some of the concert stuff, because sometimes the venues just don't want to meet them halfway.
Exactly.
That's true.
Exactly.
I can bear witness to that.
I wonder how it's going for armies at. I haven't heard anything, because we were very verbal after LA. Most all armies were very verbal as to how disappointed they were.
And honestly, a
with
lot
that
of other
experience
vlogs I saw too, a lot of other armies agreed. They said SoFi was a mess.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's what I mean. But this go around what's the name of this stadium? I can't recall.
The Las Vegas Stadium.
Is it smaller?
No, it's a stadium. It's a stadium.
I haven't looked at the
It's more than likely
capacity.
smaller than
It's
SoFi.
probably smaller.
Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, compared to SoFi, because SoFi
Yeah.
is what the most expensive. But I haven't heard anybody say anything about a bad experience so far at that stadium. So.
You know, something that I like about their time in Vegas, I don't know, it's just the moment of Namjoon saying, you know, forget the Grammys. We're not here for the Grammys. We're here for this moment with you guys.
Yeah.
I think that's a great segue if
Yeah.
we're ready. We just
Yes.
wanted to get the Grammy talk out of the way because
Yes.
it did happen.
It was a
did.
cool performance. I'm 150,000 billion quadrillion% done with butter. So done. I don't even like to eat butter anymore. But I do appreciate the fact that they gave the guys space to do their
And they
thing.
utilized all three
They
stages.
sure did.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
They did a good
Cookie.
job.
I think it took me a bit to understand why Cookie came out the ceiling, but I think because the whole thing was like
Vegas.
casino theme.
It was like James Bond theme,
Yeah,
wasn't
James
it?
Bond
Yeah.
kind
It's
of
like
thing.
a
And that's
combo
why,
of both.
Yeah.
that's why he like 007.
That was so awesome.
Which 007 had Casino. They had the movie Casino. So yeah, it took me a minute to figure out why
They sure
what
look
was the
good.
point.
But when I saw that, my first thought was, yeah, Cookie does have a lot of experience hanging on to hooks.
Yes.
and
Yes, he
flying
does.
out.
I
Yes, he
immediately
does.
thought about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Exactly.
They look so good, though. They look
And-
good. So good.
I'm happy they finally got their own stage.
Yes.
Yes, they got that, and then they had a wonderful experience because where they sat was a very good view of all of the performances, and they enjoyed every single one of them. They were just, I think they feel like they've made I know none of them have ever imagined that they would be rubbing elbows with the U.S. Stars like they are with the U.S. celebrities, like they're doing with this experience.
I think at this point, that's where they're at. It's not about winning for the guys. It's not about winning the Grammys. It's about having fun and enjoying what they can do and being with the people that they admire and appreciate and music. I think that's what it is for them.
Well, I'm finally happy that they're getting the respect that they deserve.
That's.
I think it just took some time for U.S. celebrities to really realize that these dudes are legit.
Yeah.
And they are true artists. And they're talented.
And they're treating them as such.
Yes,
now.
that's what I'm saying.
So that is amazing for them, and
Yeah.
it's great to see as far as them.
There are a lot of artists on, I don't know, social media that have stated that our guys do deserve better. They're noticing more and more what the Grammys are lacking and how they're using Army You know, so more artists are speaking out on that who appreciate the guys, and I
consider
like that.
how Army makes the guys, how good Army makes the guys look in like those kind of public settings. Because no shade at all to the American artists, but most of them do not have the kind of loyal fan base that Army does.
Exactly. You don't have your entire
They're just
fandom.
at this event, exactly.
Right. Yeah, you don't have your
BTS
entire
walks
fandom.
up and they have gang rolling up behind them, screaming at every little word they're saying.
Literally.
I know that some of them had to be just a little bit envious.
And also whenever because Army did the fan chant at the actual Grammys when they were announced to come on, and I guarantee everybody was like, "Whoa, where did y'all come from? Oh, who's this one?
How y'all got in
We're normal people. What
ceremony?"
Exactly.
I'm glad the American celebrities are recognizing their talent. When it comes to them not winning the Grammy, I honestly put these two things in two different pots. This experience for them is amazing, and that's what they're walking away with. And I'm glad Namjoon said what he said, because it gave us an opening to see what they really feel and think about it. And I think after he said that, it made me think, I honestly had to take a step back. We know the talent. We know what the guys have brought before. All armies believe that they deserve every single award because we've seen their talent. We've seen the songs that they arrange, the lyrics that they write, so forth and so on. But that's not what's going up for Grammys.
That's not what's going up for Grammys. Exactly.
So I had to take a step back for myself. I keep saying that I'm letting go of the Grammys, but internally I don't think I really did. But after Namjoon said that, and I took a step back for myself and realized Dynamite was not Grammy worthy. And Permission to Dance was not Grammy worthy. It was not about the numbers. It was not about the streaming. It was not about the radio. It was people in the industry looking at those particular songs and figuring out whether this is Grammy worthy over that one, and so forth and so on. And the guys,
Grammy worthy is.
The guys have you put Permission to Dance up against, say, On or Black Swan, or let's go back even further, or even Louder Than Bombs. That was amazing. Yes.
Why did they not even promote On? That's what I don't get.
Nothing. So what they put up for these people in the industry to consider. What they put up for them to consider was not Grammy worthy, especially compared to what we know. The guys have so many songs that are Grammy worthy in their discography. So many. So I had to take a step back as Army and realize, no, it's not that they didn't deserve it. The song that they put up for it did not deserve a Grammy compared to some of the artists that we saw that night. It just didn't.
Well, I mean, that puts it to the point of why even put a song up for a Grammy?
Well,
why even put a song up for a Grammy?
It's prudent to put the right song up for a Grammy.
Yeah. I think that's what she's
put the
getting
best
at.
song up.
So if they were going to choose between those little tiny group of songs, those 3 songs, why even put it up for Grammys?
Yeah, and that's the point, right? It's because the management company has been kind of shooting them in the foot for the past 3 years by picking probably the most lukewarm song out of their whole discography to put forward.
And I have no idea if they just don't get how I thought P. Diddy joined the whatever, the membership of the or whatever, to actually get an inside view of exactly how the Academy works and how they do things and how the feel of the people and so forth and so on. But if you did that, or if anybody in that company did that, how do you not know that this is not the route to go? If you want a song to be considered, you pick the best in your basket. You don't pick.
My theory is that they probably delegated it to whoever in the past was their American representative, and now it's the American branch of the company who don't know squat about Army and BTS, so they probably were just
this conversation gets me angry every single time.
Yeah, but honestly, I wasn't surprised because I thought the same thing for years now. As soon as I saw it over everything else, even over On, they put one of these other songs up. Again, no hate towards the song. It's just, if you're gonna be putting one song up for the Grammys, why that one?
Why that? At this point, I'm having hate towards the song.
Why that? So, that's what I thought.
Well, I don't think they'll be putting it up anymore.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if what this agency would do.
Well, I mean, let's segue again into, new music.
How would we do better too?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm excited, but I was telling Mimi earlier, I'm nervous for the new album. I'm scared for the new
album.
What
if Snoop is on the new album?
Scared.
Yes, can we please talk about the collab
What
between
Snoop
them
is
and
gonna
Snoop?
be on the new album?
I have no idea what's going to
You know
sound
what?
like,
Snoop
but I'm ready
said
for
something
it.
about it. I don't think the guys have said anything about it. He definitely said something about it, so we know it's going down. But then we heard nothing else.
Nothing else.
It's gonna pop up.
You know how they do.
And bite us in the.
You know how they
Gonna
do.
just
Yeah.
We're gonna
They
get a
gonna sneak
notification in the middle of the night saying it's about to go live in 10
going down,
minutes.
y'all.
Yo, Sarah, drop over here in 10 minutes.
Like
Hurry
sneak
up.
attack.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how they do.
I think they need to drop it on us. Yeah, really fast,
Mm-hmm.
similar to the album.
Because I think it's done. I think they may have want to put a few little final touches, but I think the album is done.
I think it's been done,
Yes.
especially if they were like in the middle of writing it during In the Soup, which was literally last summer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited
Oh my
because
God.
gee willikers, like
Snoop.
Now
I need
She's
some.
still-
I need some new
Can't get
content.
over it.
I have
New
literal
content.
notes here
Oh.
on a few theories I've collected from armies I want to mention.
That's like a collab
Okay.
with Missy Elliott.
So, one theory is that the B album was actually initiating another trilogy that spells out something like Be Fearless or something like that.
Because of what Namjoon and HYBE had been posting not too long ago.
That was actually something else.
Oh.
That's a separate theory. So that was the first one, that B was the starting of a new trilogy. And the next theory was, to add on to that, the reason why ARMY thought this is that the word fear or fearless kept appearing on their 2020 KBS Song Festival VCRs and the 2020 Mama VCRs. Like those
It
words.
did. It did.
Yes.
I remember that.
So that's
So
one
be
theory.
fearless.
Fear could also be, I don't know, the mirrored version of Tear. Not the mirrored version, but it could also be. You know how they
Fear
did Save Me and I'm
Yes,
Fine?
and similar to the whole mirror thing, the thing that Zoe was talking about is that HYBE and Namjoon had like coordinated around each other or something to post. It was like a picture of the word me, and then mirrored was we. And Namjoon also posted something onto it, but then deleted it.
Ah, they playing with us.
Exactly. Super
Yeah.
They're
suspicious.
playing with us.
And then the last theory was something about dreams to add on to Carl Jung's psychology. Like with Map of the Soul, he has another segment of stuff on dreams. So that's the theories we have right now.
Snoop.
Who
What
are
was
you
the first
theories?
theory again? The start of a trip. The only reason I would push that theory off to the side is because this is supposed to be titled New Chapter or something like that, right? New book.
No?
But that's I got that from them. They kept saying it before they did LA, right before they did LA, and before they did Korea, and before they're doing this concert. They kept saying they're ready for their new chapter. This will be the beginning of their new chapter, or the beginning of their new book, or something like that. So that's why I thought, with them continuously saying it's the beginning of something, the beginning of their next half or whatever, I would dispel that theory, with B being the start of a trilogy.
So maybe the next one that's coming out is the start of another
Or
trilogy.
books or
Another-
chapters or whatever.
I don't know, but I'm ready. I'm
Yeah.
ready.
I really
It's
hope it
been
takes us back to our
honestly
roots.
so long.
Yeah.
Like
It's so
the last
long.
album, like it's insane. Like, have they ever gone this long
We've
without dropping?
never.
had to wait this long.
This is crazy.
And it seems even longer to some people
Yeah.
because they didn't hit with them or resonate with them as much.
As much as the
So it
others
feels-
have.
Yeah. So it-
I mean,
yeah.
I still listen to Map of the Soul more often than B. If I'm being
Yeah,
honest.
Map
Yeah.
So
The B has some very, very star hits,
Yes,
but
I like B
still,
overall.
B, to me, it feels like an intermission kind of album.
It does feel like an intermission.
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
great way to put it.
Like
That's
on
how it
VCR.
feels.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good VCR.
Yeah.
A VCR.
But we've been in the VCR for a while. Can
Yeah,
we
can we
go?
get the actual next performance?
Sorry,
please?
man. We need
we're
some
ready
food.
now.
We need some.
I think it's actually quite ironic that we've gone this long because I know the pandemic slowed things down, but we've mentioned before you would think that would have helped them like
Be
really
more
hole
creative.
up and work on the album stuff, right? Because that's all
You
they
would
really
think.
can do when you're holed up. But I don't know. They were also really busy shooting all those commercials. So
I know.
Exactly. Shooting commercials and trying to acclimate themselves to a whole different life than what they've been living had been living for the past 8 years.
Well, I was telling Bawan in the car today as we were coming back from getting our vittles, is that
Vittles?
Yeah, our Beatles.
Okay.
That it's good to see them in their element again.
Yes.
And on stage and just doing what they love and just like some sense of normalcy, whatever that means, you know? So that fills me.
Now, I will say this. And Armies, you've heard me say this before. I hold true to the thought of don't make the first leg of the tour be the concert you go to, because they're just starting to warm up. That is very much true between LA and Korea and Las Vegas, because now they are in the thick of it. They are back in the groove of it, and they weren't so much with LA because they were just
very emotional too.
Yeah, just
But I really did enjoy having that, because I mean, Namjoon, we got to hear him curse
for the first time.
So my ears are blessed.
And I want to say on record, Namjoon saying what he said at this concert at Las Vegas last week about the Grammys, and then him saying, I'm not going to do an interview about it or tweet about it because I'm an adult. I mean, dude, you basically just told the entire world exactly how you feel. You don't have to do an interview or tweet about it or do anything on social media, because you just told
I love
the
that he
entire
doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like
the
he was
entire
very
world,
careful
basically,
before.
Yeah.
So now
the
he's
Grammys.
just so open.
The only difference is he did it in concert with his family as opposed to like Drake did it when he went up on stage.
Right.
Yeah.
Something. You know, Drake did it at a ceremony.
Yeah.
That's the biggest difference about it.
What is it with American artists kind of making a show on stage at these award shows?
They're more. My theory on that is they are. I guess freer is a better word, because I was going to say
they're more
loose.
open with
they're very
what
loose
is-
with their
yeah.
emotions.
And
a little too open for a
Very
professional
open.
setting.
Yeah, with their emotions, and in other countries you're more reserved.
There's a time and a place.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But our thing. Our time.
Absolutely, yeah. So, so I guess we can segue right into actually what the title of our podcast, the interest of our podcast was, which is,
if you were going to be managing BTS, what direction would you take them?
yeah.
Fan meets in every country, every single country, big, small, black, blue, yellow. So fan. I think that's my main thing. It's gonna take a few years, but that's my goal. That's anybody else?
And
For me, like, fan meets would be wonderful.
And they have their own, what's it called? Not studio, own company, right? Staffed by Army, right? You know, and yeah, okay.
so if
Anybody
you
else?
were their manager, you would have a staff of Army?
Yes.
That's dangerous.
And they just sane-ish Army.
You can't even get it out.
Screened Army. Okay, mostly married Army.
Not
How about
psycho
that?
Army.
Not psycho Army.
I mean, to piggyback off of that, if we were actually going to do that, I wouldn't be opposed to hiring Army, but in a way, I would actually make the rules more strict and clear and like define right at the beginning. You will have the opportunity to live the life of your dreams by working for the boys and maybe seeing them every now and then. But if you make them uncomfortable in any
You're
way,
fired.
shape, or
Right
exactly,
then.
you're fired right
That'll
on the
be in
spot.
the contract.
And everybody will be clear on that.
Yes.
And I think that we can live harmoniously.
All right, so if I could manage the boys, on any leg of the tour that they do, they have to have 3 shows where it's just an arena.
Oh.
Like a small setting.
Yeah.
An intimate setting. They have to have 3 shows.
And
You mean for the entirety of the tour? Like you're going to do at
Like-
least one
like-
show in an
like-
arena here, one show in an arena there, and
Yeah,
one show
just
in an
like
arena
3
somewhere
shows where it's an intimate setting, where you're not like a little light in the crowd. Like if somehow he swing his hair, you feel the sweat. Like
We wouldn't use Ticketmaster.
yeah, I was literally going to
we wouldn't use
say for at least
Ticketmaster.
2 of those concerts, even if we had to go back to old school for some of them, like I would find
Army
some
would be
way
okay.
to keep the bots out of
Yes.
the ticket process.
Yes.
Like if you had to go in person to buy your ticket
Camp
with
out.
your IDs, like I
It would have
do
to
that.
be an in-person thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I would do if I could manage.
More Boomvay RGs rather than in the soup. I appreciate in the soup.
I love
And
it.
that was
Like,
because
yeah,
of pandemic.
gosh,
While they
yeah.
did it in the suit, it was because of pandemic. So it was out. We're very appreciative of that.
We also mentioned before too the like back when they did more Bon Voyages, they were less famous. Let's just put it out
Yes,
there.
it's very true.
Yeah.
I don't know where they could go now.
places, yeah.
Where
They go
people
Canada.
wouldn't see
You know,
them.
spacious places. I
Even-
want to see someone ride a horse.
Even when they were less famous, they have done that. Remember that? Even when they were less famous and they went to places that would not recognize, the majority wouldn't recognize them, they were still recognized here and there.
Yes.
So yeah, it would be very
And word
hard.
travels fast with Army.
I was
Yes,
telling
it does.
Mimi when we started thinking about doing this particular subject for a podcast, I was telling her that I feel like the guys pre-pandemic, our family began to grow. Army began to grow exponentially. It began to grow. During the pandemic, it just blew the hell up. I mean, who does that during a pandemic? Who just blows the hell up like that? But there are steps from way back in the beginning that actually got them along the way, the loyal and prudent and hardcore Army that they got now. There were steps along the way, and if I managed them, I would have to go back and see what was I doing then, what were we doing then that gave us that firm base of the classic golden armies that we have.
I would add an Army onboarding process straight from the company that it's nothing crazy. It just says things like, this is how we do an Army. We are respectful. We treat each other well. Anyone who says push at a concert venue is going to get kicked out. Yes.
All armies will then turn on you, take your picture, and we put it out.
And they're banned Army. I would do more collaborations.
I would like, if I could manage.
Wait a minute. Why would you do more collaborations?
So I want to see them with Missy Elliott.
You could just say to collab with Missy Elliott.
Yeah, I would do a collab with Missy Elliott.
If I could manage them, I would really like to get to know K-Army. Like, I would like to really, create some fan meets with, everybody.
A mixture.
Yeah, like a mixture. I would really like to get to know some K-Armies.
Yeah, like a company held Army
Did
gets
someone say Army Con?
You know what?
Yeah,
I would do a
Army
worldwide Army
Yeah,
Con.
that would be so
But you know what?
fun.
Honestly,
We would need
the
the
concerts
Olympic.
are almost like that because we've met Army from all over the world.
True.
You know,
But you
But
go to
it's
the
a-
armies to focus on the boys.
exactly.
But
So
an Army
specifically,
con.
something like an Army Con.
Because they're
Yeah.
distracting. The boys are distracting.
They are.
Okay?
Because
the
honestly, we
Olympic
get our
arena.
fan chants from them.
Yes.
They organize things for us that we don't necessarily do ourselves. And so I think it's because they opened up and said, yes, we are welcoming anybody who wants to be Army. Is part of the reason that our boys were able to excel the way that they've excelled. Because I know that other fandoms weren't willing to do that. And that is possibly one of the reasons why their groups got cut off at the knees. So I really do appreciate the fact that they were like, look, we want all Army from wherever to support and uplift our boys.
Is that what you mean for all? Not you said get to know K-Army more, but do you mean for all armies from different countries to get to know one another
Yes,
more?
absolutely.
Period. Yeah.
I may or may not do this, considering it might be considered a little bit of shade, which I don't mind, but some people might. But instead of the Grammys, we wouldn't go to those anymore. We might start our own award show.
Nice.
Yes, because we're gonna
Nice.
need a bigger venue than what they have at the Grammys. Yes,
Nice.
it would just
So
be
what would the content be for that award
the Army
show?
Awards.
Oh, the Army Awards.
The Army Awards.
Army Awards.
And it would be a very positive event where we promote not just the boys, but
also
Army.
Different
Yeah.
things that
Other
Army
things
has
that they're
done,
doing.
Yeah.
for charity or
yes,
or
and even
funding.
charity events would probably even be part of the event. We'll have some
All money would
nonprofit
probably go
partners.
to that, yeah.
Exactly.
So I have mentioned this on at least 2 podcasts.
So
This will be the 3rd or 4th podcast I'm mentioning this. To me, Jen's statement about how he loves the agency and why he loves the agency, and that was 3 years ago. So I honestly don't. We had an agency in place at one point in time that actually thought outside the box of what can we do for Army to show that we love them, the guys love them. What can we do? What can we do? I don't think HYBE is like that. I think HYBE is doing a lot in Vegas, but their goal, what's pushing them to do that is the monetizing. What's pushing them to do that is them expanding and just the bottom line, because they're a business. I think that agency then did not see themselves or the guys as a business or Army as a business. They genuinely thought of things for us. I don't think HYBE is.
Well, my belief is, I'm just going to say it. I think HYBE is dumb because those things don't have to be mutually exclusive. Mm-hmm. Because how did BTS get here in the first place?
That's what I mean. That's what I mean by we have to. I would sit down with the agency and with the guys and say, we got what we got, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, gathering the type of Army we gathered. We need to go back to that and see how we did that, because now we have millions. We need to go back to that and see how we did it with those armies and start doing it again. Because the last 2 years, pandemic years, it's just, it's different. It's slacking and lacking.
And I know part of it is fan meets. They really need to.
I mean, it's slacking and lacking because of pandemic. However, you got to get back to it. You got to get back to what kept us together, made us family, made us feel like we were one. You got to get back to that.
I mean, tell you what, like, I understand they were in a pinch, but if I were managing BTS during the pandemic, I would have come up with some other way to make money than to make them shoot commercials. Like, they could have had some better use of their time to make that money. You know what I mean? And Army would have supported them because Army's there for a reason. I think that it was just so dumb that they instead just turned to away from what is the core of BTS.
Exactly. And they're artists. They are artists through and through. Entertainers through and through. There's a difference between artists and the difference between entertainers. To me, they're two different types. But our guys are artists and entertainers. And when an artist feels things deeply, I know because I live amongst y'all, amongst artists, feel things deeply and things affect them and it affects their work. So when you turn them into show monkeys, so to speak, I would imagine that affected them. As artists, that took something from them. Like their intention was never to be the face of any product, the face of this, the face of that. And then they came into being nothing but that. Yeah. That had to have taken something away from them as artists. Go ahead.
I would make an Army evolution movie. So kind of like a documentary over how people became Army and how it affected them in their lives, and also compile that with how BTS grew to be a part of Army.
I think the boys in particular would love watching that.
I think that should be something. And then also, even if you're a random person who just keeps hearing about this BTS and Army thing on Netflix, a documentary certainly pops up. Oh, okay, this is about the Army, so let me just watch it. It would be a better way to inform them that we're not just some random fan base. Well,
cool. I mean, there's something like that. There's more than one thing like that on YouTube already about, Meet Army. But an entire, go to the movie theater, like the guys, we go to the movie theater and see their documentaries on them or on the show, that tour, what have you. Yeah, to do that.
Well, I mean, a professionally compiled interview.
And put it in theaters. Huh? Yeah. I would put it in theaters.
Then we get to watch their reaction video on it, like their commentary.
Cool. I would love to watch their, I would do that. I would tell them, guys, we make y'all do reaction videos to y'all's own work.
Well, that's what I would want compiled into the documentary, of them being explaining, in reaction to the Army, and also explaining how they grew, seeing Army grow.
And they always want to know more about Army, so I think that's a wonderful idea.
So I was watching something the other day, and it's old what I was watching, and HYBE had his phone. They were going to bed, they were doing something or settling down, and he said, I've been watching a lot of reaction videos lately. Right now, I'm watching such and such, and he called the reactor's name. He said, "I really like him. I'm right now. I'm gonna go watch some more."
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, so they watch from way back then. They've always watched our reaction videos, but we don't see that. So I would love that of them just every week, like on every run,
I mean, even
picking
consider
a reaction
this.
video.
Like I said, coming up with other ways during the pandemic to make up the concert sales. What if we just had them make a bunch of fun YouTube videos?
Yeah,
that would have been not strenuous on them. They would have had time with their families. They just come over and film for the day, like pretty much for like the runs, right? And you can just go home and rest. You don't have to go and do a stupid shoot.
Yeah.
You don't have to hug a microwave. I don't know. Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I just try and put myself in their shoes, and they may not have felt this way, but can you imagine how weird and soul-crushing it is to go in front of, like, a bajillion lights and cameras and being like, this coffee maker is the best thing in the whole world.
That's what I mean, especially if you're an artist.
It's
if you're
totally
a
not
true
just a
artist.
coffee maker.
Yeah.
But this coffee maker.
Is a heaven maker.
Exactly. Can you imagine? Can you imagine at, like, the level of talent and clout they
Like,
have?
why am I doing this? I really
Yes.
don't have to.
Having to do that. Feeling like a hand model or something. No shade, no hate towards hand models or something, but just feeling like it just feels so like inauthentic. That's not
It's
what our
definitely
guys
unnecessary.
Yeah, it's
and
not
unnecessary.
I don't know. I think that's a cultural thing. I think it's just several artists who are popular in Korea. They're everywhere. Like everywhere on all the billboards and all the.
I agree, but you know what? Like if I was managing them, I would actually have the boys pick
There you go.
what they want to promote.
No commercial. There
Because you know what?
go.
Especially in Korea, if the boys go to any company and be like, hey, I actually do freaking love your tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we
I'm
shoot a
drinking your
commercial?
tea forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There
Like,
you go.
Exactly.
There
But
you
half
go.
of the stuff they were promoting, I was just like, dude, come on. I
Right.
mean, as much as I actually think that Hyundai Palisade's pretty cool, I don't think any of them own a Hyundai Palisade. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think any of them do.
Yeah.
They don't.
Right.
They don't even drive themselves most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Exactly.
so it doesn't make any sense.
Namjoon
right.
rides a bike everywhere.
But what if
so.
Cookie was like, these boxing gloves are the shit?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Just like a fun,
And he would
genuine
definitely
commercial.
practice using them. Like, so this is how
Exactly.
you use them. And
Exactly.
who
That would
wouldn't
be
buy
nice.
that? I don't even box and I would buy it.
Do you know how cute it would be too to just see the little things that they're in love with? Like I feel like Namjoon would be like, this reading light, this is the best.
And then
reading
he'll
light
accidentally
ever
break
used."
it. And like, it's
But I've
not
broken it
breakable.
before, and you just put it back together.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
Or if we could do some sort of commercial about saving animal lives, you know?
Yeah.
Like he'll be playing and smothered with puppies or
I
something.
could totally see him doing a whole segment on his favorite, like Yontan's favorite pet products. He's just like,
yes.
let me take you through his daily routine.
Yeah. Yes.
My
This is
God.
what I feed him.
Mm-hmm.
He's I mean, even doing stuff like that would bring in so much money.
Yoongi would
while
do the best
also being fun.
bed. Like, so
Exactly.
this bed, I sleep
I'm
2 hours
reviewing
in.
mattresses today.
This one, 8 hours.
And pillows.
And this is completely off subject, and I don't even know if I should say this, but it's because it's. I
Well,
mean,
you've
it's about
already
our
intrigued
guys.
us.
It's completely off subject.
I
Just
mean-
think of that. So we were
I mean,
mentioning
Sarah
things.
been going rogue all podcasts. She been going rogue.
We've been mentioning things like I could see V do this, or I could see Tay do this. I mean, whatever. We mentioned the Cookie and the
Yes.
other guys, and my mind jumped to Jimin. To me, he is the one we know the least about as far as his personal life. Like we always, for the most
He is
part,
pretty
we
reserved.
know when we know what Hobie kind of does in
You
his
don't know
off
what
time.
Jimin Tavi's
We
these
know
days.
exactly.
Yeah.
We have not over the years. We've learned more about their own personal, what they do on their downtime and their private time about each and every one of them, except Jimin. He doesn't have pets, or if he does, we don't know him. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't paint. He doesn't. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing while you're gone? What are you
Jimin
doing when
just
you're
likes
not
to
with
go off
us?
the map.
You know?
Yeah.
I do know that he is the adventurous one. I do know that like he likes to, when they go to different countries and things, I know that he's the one who likes to go out and explore and see what the city or the town has to offer. But you're right, that's about it.
We don't know. We don't know. We know
Like,
like
what
June
is
is bikes. We know he's books. We know their music taste. We know V likes to go to the museums
Well, he likes
and
to dabble
June
in
does,
writing a
and-
little bit. We do know a little bit about that.
He
Like,
does.
remember he wrote the song? And
Oh yeah, the songs. Yeah,
yeah. So
because
that might be something. But you're right, we don't know.
You know what? What if he
What's
is
up, Jimin?
secretly...
Gemini!
He is secretly a really famous Wattpad writer, and that's why he doesn't tell us anything, because he can't let his identity
You're right.
be found. He's one of the top.
I
ones.
would love that.
I wonder if he's read my story.
I would love that.
He's probably competing with your story. He's like, damn it! How does she have so many viewers?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's yeah.
Because he's a big reader.
I
You
would
do
like
know that
to know
he is
more
a
about
reader.
him.
He's a reader.
And it's
But
hot.
anyway, okay, going back. That
right.
dawned on me.
I thought you was going rogue.
We kind of.
Well, is there anything else you left out? Like, if
No.
you were going to manage them, what would you want to change? I mean, so much, but
I would just push them in the direction of, guys, we got to get back. We have a gazillion billion people now that are watching us.
and we've been
We gotta
making a
get back.
gazillion dollars while
Yeah.
being authentic, but we can keep going.
Yeah. We gotta get back to what we did.
I'm
What
so
we
ready
did.
for this music though, y'all. Like I'm so ready.
Oh my
I am starving.
I'm so
I
ready.
realized how spoiled we have been.
Yes.
Like I always knew, but I didn't want to feel it. I didn't want to
Yeah.
feel it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it.
We are spoiled.
New
as far as-
videos, new music.
I miss the
new
runs. I found
performances.
myself missing
When
the
was
runs.
the last
That-
music video?
That was the runs was my routine during the week because I knew I would get Popeyes. I would get fried chicken on Tuesdays and watch the run that was the previous day. The run would be that Monday. I'd get my chicken, watch the run, and eat my chicken. I miss the runs. And yeah, when was the last music video? The only thing I can think of is On.
Yeah. That was a while
that the
ago.
last one? Oh, and
Butter.
Black Swan. Gosh dog it, you know what? They had a music video for all three of those suckers.
Yes, they did.
We're not
We
even
didn't even thinking about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
damn,
didn't
they looked good,
consider
but they
it.
weren't like the. I'm sorry, it was intermission.
We didn't. Yes, we didn't even consider that.
I
When I
bet.
started, when you said when was the last music video, I jumped right over them. and
So
went
the
to
question
On.
would be, when was the last music video that moved us?
Yes.
That shook us to the
Yeah.
core, and we were like, "Oh my freaking god!"
I mean, I be going back and watching all the other music videos still, right? And we reminisce about that era. I'm just saying we're not going to
Yes.
reminisce about this era.
no, we're not. We're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that happened."
That happened. Moving on.
Yeah, and then this happened.
Oof. Well, we are excited for the future.
Yes, we are.
And if the boys do go their own way at some point, y'all hit us up. We got some ideas.
Yo, for sure.
My resume is ready.
Obviously, we got the whole
I'll be a
terms,
janitor.
conditions,
I
and
don't care what I
policies
do.
written up. We have the business plan written up.
We got you.
the
We
team
got you.
written up. We'll get it started up in a weekend.
Yo, heck
And a
yeah.
weekend.
And a weekend, yes.
Absolutely.
Sarah,
We
she
would make the
rolled
calls.
today.
We would make the calls. It's go time. It's go time. It's go
I'm
time.
telling you, if I got one of the boys on the phone, I wouldn't sleep anyway. So
Girl.
Yeah.
Ooh, we just keep wondering if they're listening.
thank God you're listening. I
I'm
hope you're
Jimmy.
listening. No,
I think, honestly, as they get started off on this leg, post-pandemic, I think they're going to be more interactive with Army than they have ever been. No, I can't say than they have ever been, because when at their meager beginnings, they were very interactive with Army as far as
They were.
remember them out in the parking lot with Army and the fan
Yeah, they
meets
can't
and
do
all.
that stuff now, but
Yeah, but what I mean is like, okay, so like when V gives away stuff from on stage,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like he gave the woman the bomb, she didn't have a bomb, and
Yeah.
I don't know what she was thinking, but that was a weak reaction. After I passed out, I would have got up and I would have been screaming my head off.
Oh yeah.
She hardly reacted to him giving her that bomb.
We know Mako would have just knocked everybody over.
That would have just been
Keep it
it.
real.
That
I'd have
been
jumped.
it.
And could you
I'd
imagine
have
not
floated.
catching that?
No. It would have been an ET moment. Like he would have handed me that bomb. I would have touched my. I would
he
have
didn't-
floated up in the air. Like There's
no,
just
he
no way.
tossed it. But I can see you floating up in the air and grabbing
Heck
it
yeah.
like football style.
Oh my
I can see
god!
But that's what I mean by
When
more
he had-
interactions. More interactions like that.
Yeah.
I think moving forward on this leg, we're going to see more interactions like that from all of them.
I hope so.
I
I'm
just
so
think we
looking
will.
forward
so.
to it.
I think we will.
Any last thoughts? Last statements?
I want to go to sound check. Do
I
the
want
tour.
to go to sound check too.
Do the tour.
I'm just saying, June, that it doesn't invade your privacy at all to listen to these.
Podcast?
Exactly.
No, but sure doesn't.
It sure
Yeah.
doesn't. So you should listen it and share it with the boys.
Yes, and any Army that's listening, go ahead and relate the message. All right.
All right. That being said,
Now you know